Is this the Kingdom Hall?
This is the number that we provide for the Pudley congregation, yes.
Oh, wonderful. My name is Christine. I was just doing some phone witnessing. Do you have a minute?
Some phone witnessing.
Yeah, sharing
Which organisation are you representing, Christine?
organization. Well, what do you mean?
You're carrying out some phone witnessing
Yeah,
to the Kingdom Hall.
yeah. Are you saying like one person, like Christians, don't like to witness and share the gospel unless they represent an organization? Like I'm not a Roman Catholic.
Ah, I see.
Mm-hmm.
How can I help you, Christine?
Well, I didn't ask for help. I just said I was phone witnessing. Could I share a scripture with you?
Yes, by all means.
Okay. Well, it's from Exodus chapter 3. Do you want to look at it or you want me to just read it?
Bear with me a moment, I'll get my device.
Okay.
Exodus chapter 3. Right, I'm with you.
Okay. Um, Starting in verse 2. Do you want to read it or you want me to read it?
Exodus chapter 3, starting verse 2. That's Jehovah's angel appeared to him in a flame of fire in the midst of a thorn bush. As he kept looking, he saw that the thorn bush was on fire, and yet the thorn bush was not consumed.
Yeah. How about
Exodus 3 verse 2.
Yeah, I'm going to read. Could I read a couple more verses, two more verses? So Moses thought, I must go over and look at this remarkable sight. Why isn't the bush burning up? When Jehovah saw that he had gone over to look, God called out to him from the bush, Moses, Moses, here I am. So it seems like it's using the word, the designation, Jehovah's angel. All other translations say the angel of Yahweh or the angel of the Lord. Um, it's using them interchangeably, isn't it? Like he sees Jehovah's messenger, and then it says God is talking to him. And in many other places, the messenger of Jehovah, the Melech Yahweh, is called God, and
Yes.
interchangeably. And there's no prophet or anyone representing God that is called God interchangeably in the narratives, of the Old Testament. Um, I think that's really interesting, because angel in the Old Testament is just Malach. It just means messenger. It doesn't tell you if it's a man, a spirit being. It's just a generic term for messenger. Have you ever heard of the theological concept of Theophanies?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
Well, there's a word that Christians use, and it goes way back in history, theophanies, meaning like appearances
Theophanies.
of God in the Old Testament mostly.
I'm not familiar with that designation.
Yeah, it's really interesting because this personage, the Melech Yahweh or messenger of Jehovah, appears many times. And I've never seen any really Watchtower literature talking about it. So it's widely believed by scholars and theologians to be the pre-incarnate Christ. So the Melech Yahweh, the messenger of Jehovah, is used interchangeably with Jehovah himself or God, and he's also worshipped, and sacrifices are offered to him, and such things. So he does God things. Um, and you all believe Christ was existing before he was on earth, right?
Clearly, according to Scripture.
Yeah. Um, Another really cool one is in Genesis 22, where it says when the Abraham Isaac thing, Abraham was supposed to sacrifice Isaac, and then it says, but the angel of Jehovah, the messenger of Jehovah, called to him from heaven when he had the knife in his hand and said, Abraham, Abraham, here I am. And then he says, here I am. Then the messenger says, do not lay a hand on the boy or do anything to him, for now I know that you fear God, since you have not withheld your only son from me. So if it was just a created being angel, why would Abraham be sacrificing Isaac to an angel, just a created spirit being? Because that's an act of worship.
Okay.
Anyway,
So
it's really interesting.
The point you're making, Christine, is
that the messenger of Jehovah was called Jehovah and God, and worshipped and offered sacrifice to, etc. Yet he is distinct from God. So it's just really cool, because that shows what Christians believe, that the Son is God by nature. That's what John 1:1 means, and is also distinct from the Father. So they're distinct in person and one in nature or essence. The word essence is used in the earliest writings, and that's why we believe he is the God-man, since he took on flesh. But the angel of Jehovah, or the messenger of Jehovah, it's a really interesting study that you could do yourself. Like in other Bibles, like I said, he's called the messenger of Jehovah, or angel of Jehovah. So the New World Translation uses Jehovah's angel. But if it's consistent, I guess you could probably find all those yourself. But it's just an interesting thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you for that suggestion.
Yeah, even if you
Thank you for your time.
Yeah, even if you Google it, you'll find resources that just present all those passages. You don't have to accept their commentary, but it's just something interesting to look at.
Yeah, thank you very much for
How long have you been a Jehovah's Witness?
Well, I've been baptized 37 years.
Okay. Yeah, I really enjoyed talking with Jehovah's Witnesses. Thank you for being so nice to me.
Okay, you have a good day.
God bless you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
From my house.
And located in...
Well, I'm really not about, giving my personal information. You got to be careful these days,
Well,
So,
that's right. Give me a city or a county.
No, I really wasn't interested in, it's not a personal thing. I just was wondering if I could share a scripture with you.
Well, that's very interesting. What is the scripture?
Well, it's a couple of scriptures in Job chapter 9. Do you want me to just read it? Not the whole chapter. It's just...
Well, actually, I tell you what, I'm being rude to the meeting. We have a special meeting going on.
A special one?
A few of us, and
well,
it's not a regular schedule.
Is it like one of those where you disfellowship people and stuff?
Well, we don't use that term anymore.
Remove?
Yeah.
Why did they change the name of it?
Well, there's always adjustments.
Adjustment?
So, are you one of Jehovah's Witnesses?
No. Some people say they probably changed the name of it and tweaked it a little bit to fool the governments that are having court cases with Jehovah's Witness lawyers right now, like Norway.
Well,
do you think that's why?
Miss Anderson, I appreciate your call. I don't recognize the 520 area code, but I appreciate your giving a call here, and on another occasion, I would have been happy to discuss some of the things. But
have you watched any of the proceedings or read the transcripts of what Watchtower lawyers are saying in court right now?
No,
It's
I
going on
haven't.
right now.
The news is depressing. I don't watch any news.
Yeah, it is
But
depressing what they're saying because, like, they're being very misleading and actually lying about shunning
okay.
right now is what they're doing.
Well,
So there's tons of former members going and also testifying,
uh,
and they all share
well,
in
I hope you have
agreement.
a pleasant day,
I hope
and
you will check it out.
appreciate
Check it
your
out
reaching out.
so you know what's going
Well,
on. Okay, God
our
bless you.
service arrangement
Bye.
in a couple minutes. Why don't you go ahead and ask me the question, and it takes about 10-15 minutes for us to have it. So why don't you go ahead and ask me the question?
Oh, that's plenty long enough. But the question is on Philippians chapter 1, couple of verses. You want me to just read them?
Please.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, it starts at verse 20. It says, as it is Paul talking, as it is my eager expectation and hope that I will not be at all ashamed, but that with full courage, now as always, Christ will be honored in my body, whether by life or by death. For to me, to live is Christ, and to die is gain. That's quite a thing to say about a created angel person, isn't it? That he lived to honor Christ in his body and that his very life was for Christ. For me to live is Christ. I thought that was interesting. How do you see that?
Well, it's in general, it's all about context,
Mm-hmm.
and it's
Yeah.
about figurative or literal. And
Oh.
I would have to do a little research, but just from what I'm listening to,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times we'll say, I am one with my parents. My parents and I are one. Now we're not literally. We may be one in thought, one in love, one in many different things, but it doesn't literally mean that your parents are actually part of your flesh. They're actually part of your mind. It's one in thought, one in boldness, one in love. So I interpret that as Paul basically exclaiming under inspiration how much himself is committed to doing the preaching work, and how much his love for Jehovah and the Christ.
He doesn't mention Jehovah.
Pardon me?
He didn't mention Jehovah. He said, for me to live is Christ. Then he says, later, and 2 verses later, my desire is to depart and be with Christ, for that is far better. That's also interesting in light of the, belief that we don't exist as, separately from our body.
I mean, that's, as you know, when we die, we do cease to exist.
Yeah.
You do agree with that?
Why does Paul say it's far better to depart and be with Christ? I just think that's interesting. And one more. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I do have to get back to our computer because I'm letting people in via Zoom.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So,
cool.
But I will, that's interesting. I will look that up and see if I can have some more thoughts on that.
Yeah, also another cross-reference with all of these is John 5:23, if you want to look up that one. Okay. Hey, thanks for being so nice.
Well, thank you for giving us a call. I wish we could continue our discussion.
Yeah,
but I
understand.
have to go there and let them in.
Yeah, okay. God bless you. Bye.